Welcome. This is not for the faint of heart. You are entering Crime to the Core.
What's up, guys? And welcome to Crime to the Core. I'm Angie.
And I'm John.
And today we are back with episode 7. And this episode is technically an update to a previous episode, not one that we have previously talked about, but we are going to be going into detail as to what happened previously in the case. And the reason why I say this is an update is because this case happened over 50 years ago. Or around 50 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. And they finally arrested the person who committed this crime.
Okay. At least, but that person got 50 years free? Wow.
Yeah. They were free for 50 years. So, are you ready to get into this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is in regards to a hitchhiker by the name of Mary K. Schlais. I hope I didn't butcher her last name, but she was murdered in 1974. So a little backstory here as to what had previously happened 50 years ago. So Mary was 25 and she was found stabbed to death on February 15th. 1974, the day right after Valentine's Day. She was found at an intersection in Springbrook, Wisconsin. So Mary was from Minneapolis and she was killed while she was hitchhiking to an art show in Chicago.
Okay.
So she was from Minneapolis. She was catching rides to Chicago, but unfortunately she was murdered in Wisconsin. So Sheriff Kevin Bidd said, "This was a very bright lady who had a very bright future ahead of her. Her life was taken away." And although investigators worked the case for decades, so unlike the other cases that we've previously heard about, that like they kind of just, it went cold and nothing ever came up, this case, like they never stopped actually looking for
So they were
her.
trying as hard as they could.
Yeah, so they kept looking at anything for clues towards who could have murdered her. They were chasing tips and collecting evidence, but no viable suspects were ever identified. How they found him.
Investigators found Miller from genetic evidence, a hair found on a stock hat left at the crime scene near her body. The hat belonged to John Miller.
So before speaking to Miller, authorities went to his daughter and received her genetic profile. Research indicated that the hair from the stocking cap belonged to her biological father. However, investigators say the fact that Miller was adopted initially made it harder to track him down.
But investigators did track Miller down. Now at 84, wow.
Yeah.
At his apartment in, I'm going to butcher this, but Old Tone, Minnesota?
I think it's Owatonna.
Onatona? Sorry, guys.
Owatonna? I don't know.
Miller, on a Thursday, confirmed his involvement with the Mary homicide after 50 years, the sheriff said.
Miller was awaiting extradition to Wisconsin. It was not clear on Friday afternoon if Miller had retained an attorney. So this, I think this pretty much happened like recently, last week. They just caught him on, I believe it said Wednesday.
"I had a difficult time controlling my excitement," he said. "You know, I've been there with his agency for 35 years. And in this case, it had been worked on all these 35 years. The sheriff continued, "This is a huge victory for our agency." The sheriff's office said in recent years it had been collaborated with Ramapo College in Mahwah, New Jersey, and its team of genealogists helped identify Millers as a suspect.
Don Schlais, 79 years, of Minneapolis. So this is Mary's brother, who at this point is 79 years old. He said Friday that he never thought he would see the day an arrest was made in his sister's death. And he says, and I quote, "It just It's just surreal. You don't expect it after all this time, he said. Schlais said his sister had earned an undergraduate degree in art from the University of Minnesota and was applying to graduate school. She was passionate about horses and horseback riding, he said. Schlais credited law enforcement and the forensic team for the arrest. He said whatever happens to Miller is out of his hand.
I'm going to let go and I'm going to let God said. I suspect he will be taking care of this. He'll have to pay the karma when he dies. Jeez.
Yeah. So finally, after 50 years, because of a hat that was found near the body, like right next to Mary's body with a piece of his hair, with the advancements of genealogy now, they were able to link that hair to John, and they were able to arrest him for because of genealogy, they were able to match that hair that was in the hat to John Miller and was able to arrest him.
But why wait so long to see if that hat was there?
No, they knew the hat was there, but they had no way of actually like confirming whose hair it was because 50 years ago, the technology wasn't as good as it is now.
But they couldn't have done it 10 years ago, at least.
Maybe the way the hair was, it wasn't like enough
Structure.
To get like a actual DNA sample.
And how did they make it? That must have been a hard job.
Yeah.
So.
But at least in this one, like we hear that they never really stopped looking.
Yeah. Not like the other ones.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So what do you guys think of this case? Have you ever heard about Mary's case before? And have you heard about these updates? If not, comment down below what you think.
So make sure you guys keep on liking, sharing, and letting us know in the comment section. If you have been up to this point, let us know with the word Miller.
Yes. Comment the word Miller if you made it all the way to the end. And guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Until then, I'm Angie.
And I'm John.
And this is Crime to the Core.